everyone, it's Rachel with Rachel's Wig Reform. Today I want to show you Rachel by Jon Renau in the color Palm Springs Blonde. Now, this is not the first time I've shown Rachel. In fact, I'm wearing Rachel right now. One of the questions that I got was, is the new Rachel not as dark in the roots compared to the one that I got over a year ago? I don't know. They look kind of similar to me. I've heard that Jon Renau is lightening. You know how I am with saying stuff. Their roots. I don't know. I mean, here's this one. And here's this. I don't know. I'm not seeing a big difference in it. But anyways, I'm going to put this one on for you. What I do want to say about the wig Rachel is it lasts forever. This Rachel here, I wore for many months just down. Then I started to pull her up into a ponytail and I put a hat on with her. Wore her that way. I can't even tell you how many times. Sorry, I'm trying to cut this tag off here. Wore it 1,000 times over the summer up in a baseball hat. Now I have it like this, pulled back into just a quick messy bun. This wig holds up, and I have done, there we go, jeez. I have done so much to this wig. You can see I've got baby hairs put in. I've done so much. The bangs here I have trimmed up over time because they were a little too long when I put my baseball hat on. This is still just a great wig. Even if I took it down and sort of combed it out, it doesn't look that bad. Although it's sort of to the point where wearing it down it's past its prime for that. Again, Rachel is at 100% hand-tied cap, so we're just going to talk about that real quick. With the lace front, full mono top, everything here is 100% hand-tied. Very comfortable cap. I really love Jon Renau hand-tied caps. All right, let's throw this one on. Pull that off. All right. This is the wig I wore for my son's wedding in an updo. And even the stylist who did my hair that day could not stop complimenting on what a great wig this was. Now, one of the things about Rachel when you got her is she is a little longer when she comes down into the front like that. And I'm going to trim that off because I'm not a fan of that. See how there's just sort of this, see how this piece is just kind of longer. And the other thing that I always notice about Palm Springs Blonde is I love the color. I love the coolness of it, but it does come very shiny when you first get it. So, now, some of you might freak out when you hear this. You can't soak a hand-tied cap in the cool water because it does loosen up the knots. You really should not soak them. And I don't. One of the things that I do is I add about a cup of apple cider vinegar to my water. And it kind of pulls that coating, that shine right off from it without having to soak it. All right, so you can part this anywhere. Because it's a hand-tied cap, there's very, very little to no permatease anywhere through here. It feels thick right here, but it's not permatease. It's just the way this is going, and it just needs to be worked out. Now, I'm not a fan of middle parts. I don't think they look that great on me. Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of permatease right here. Little. So I'm going to change the part, which I put right in the middle. Now, you can see it struggles to go this way. See how it's getting that bump? And that is because it wants to go the other way more than it wants to go this way. So people can be frustrated when they get it because they're like, it said it's multi-directional when it comes to parting, but when I try to part it that way, it doesn't work. So you can see it's fighting it. Now if I took this and went to the other way, it will go that way much easier. So if you do want your part to go the other way, you will have to work with it just a little bit. But you can see that there's some shine on this. Now Rachel does have these shorter pieces right here. I have seen people cut them into bangs and it looks really cute. I like them more just to be on each side of my face. And I don't know what it is when I'm starting to do my parts a little more towards the left. I started to part it on the right, and that is normally how I would do it, but I'm becoming okay with it going to the left. I think it's because I started wearing left monopart wigs. All right, let me pull this back a little bit more. Okay, so here is the hairline. And take a look at those knots, because I think that's what a lot of people's concern is the darker knots. And here is the mono top. And I will pluck a part into this. And I will pluck the hairline just a tiny, tiny bit, because what that will do, and I'll cut the lace too and add some baby hairs, is that it does help like hide the darker dots and makes them look not so noticeable. So these longer pieces right here that I was talking about, see how it's just a little too long there? I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my light up just a little bit here. I realize it's down just a touch so I can see a little more. So I'm going to take that piece right there and I'm going to use my thinning shears. I'm going to go in. I'm going to find just about where it needs to be. And just pulse that till it comes out. Then there's this little piece right here. Okay, so do you see the difference now on this side? Super easy fix if you don't like that long piece right there. And I don't. I've never been a fan of the angles like that. So that's all you have to do is just grab a hold of it, kind of line it up with the other part. And I use the thinning shears because it just gives not as blunt of a cut. Side's still just a little longer than what it should be. Let's see. But that's how you can cut those. So you see, now it's just kind of lining up a little bit better. All right. So I don't know what your thoughts are on the rooting. Does it look better to some of you? I don't know. It looks comparable to the one that I purchased over a year ago. I did hear somebody say that they got a Rachel and they got these really stark white streaks, similar to what Raquel Welch does. I have ordered a handful of wigs in Palm Springs Blonde lately, and I have not got one with those streaks in it. The funny thing is he only talked about the video. He didn't even show the wig, so it makes it harder. Like, he did a wig review without a wig. But there were no streaks in this. And there were no streaks in my Zara, and there's no streaks in my Sarah. They're all very, very comparable with in coloring. So anyways, that's how you can take those little extra lengths off from the edges there. And I'm not noticing much difference with the rooting. I will put this in a little bit of apple cider vinegar and water solution to take the shine off. I will only let it sit in there for about 10 minutes or so. I will not soak it because it is a hand-tied cap. So, all right, make sure you subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of my new videos. Follow the link to Rachel's Facebook page where I have a lot of before and after pictures. And sometimes I post the wigs that I'm going to sell too on that site, along with the other wig sale sites. But I do post it on Rachel's Wig Reform, and I would love to sell to the people who follow me there. All right, here's Rachel, Jon Renau, hand-tied cap, Palm Springs Blonde, the latest version of it, I guess, according to some people. I don't see much of a difference. All right, we'll talk with you soon.